Session. First thing is Pledge of Allegiance, and the flag is up there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, we have 4 members present. Renee is absent with notice. In your packet, you have minutes for January 2nd, and then the special meeting we had for January 11th. Did everybody have an opportunity to look at them? Is there any changes or anything that we saw? If not, I'll take a motion to approve both sets of minutes. Steve? Second? Deb? Any other questions? If not, all in favor? 4-0. Thank you. Privilege of the floor. David, you're the entire floor. Okay. Being none. Communications? Any communications? Being none. Administrative reports. Principal's report.
So I'll start with the enrollment report, and I can let you know that it is not accurate, of course. Since this was printed and created, we have 3 new students that are anticipated to start this week. A first grader, a second grader, and a fourth grader. So kind of that fluctuation continues to happen. I have just some newspaper articles that were the most recent things published about the school, so I thought I would just give you guys a chance to take a glance at that. While reporting that our winter rec program is over, it was a fantastic program this year. It was run very well. Kelly Avery and Mary Lambert did a great job. Special thanks to everyone that participated in that, all of the chaperones at the mountain, Mr. Dion, Mrs. Boyer, Mrs. Liebert, and everybody else that was involved. Also, thank you to Dr. Lynn Davis with the New Hampshire Humane Society and Amanda Whitworth from Plymouth State University. She had dancers come, Amanda Whitworth had dancers come, and Lynn Davis got the Humane Society to come to do special programming for our kindergarten students for winter rec. So they had some just fantastic experiences with lots of different fuzzy creatures and nothing exotic though. So that was really excellent for the kids, so I appreciate that. We had a Cliff book giveaway. The first Friday of every month we have a Cliff book giveaway, so we just recently had one of those. Scheduling with the high school, Plymouth Regional High School team begins this week. We have a big Cliff literacy, family literacy night dinner coming up, and that is on Thursday. Right now we have over 140 people that have RSVP'd, so that's really exciting. A special thanks to Bob Sherfine for donating water for the event, so we have water bottles. We got our food for the evening from Common Man, and we have lots of goodies and things like that that are all going to be a part of this. We have an author coming to speak and read a story to the kids and speak to parents about the importance of reading to their children, and then we do another book giveaway that night. So that's going to be great, and I hope you will come. It starts at 5 o'clock, and it's going to be, we worked really hard to put this together, the committee has, so it's going to be a really excellent event. We continue to have our Mathalon team meetings, which we get better every time, and we have not finished last. We have finished higher up on the list every time, so that's been great because it's just a brand new experience for the kids. So it's been really awesome that they are putting themselves out there and getting involved with that. And Mr. Gagnon's done a great job with the kids. We have also coming up Winter Carnival. Our staff versus student basketball game is going to be a fundraiser on the 21st after school. That's always a fun event. Isn't it, Mr. Dion?
Tiring.
Yeah, you really get to see how much energy the kids have versus how much the teachers and the adults have.
What day is this?
It is on the 21st, so I don't even know what day it is. I think it's a Wednesday, maybe?
It's a Wednesday.
Yes, at 3 o'clock.
It's a Wednesday.
Good time. We have our Warrior Award for our winter. That is going to be awarded on the 23rd in the morning in the cafeteria. When we get right back, I Love to Read and Write Week begins, which is also an excellent, fun week that we roll it right in with the CLIF activities this year, and it's gonna be lots of fun things going on to really promote the importance of reading at school and at home. Reading for fun, reading for learning. That whole, the whole focus on that this year has really done wonders, I think, for the kids to kind of boost their enthusiasm about that. So that's been great. That is why this month I gave Joanne Bickford our Staff of the Month award along with Nick Gagnon. Joanne was the one that wrote the CLIF grant originally, and she heads the committee and has worked so hard every month to coordinate and organize all the events, and there are plenty of events, and she's got her team working really well together, and it's just been awesome. So kudos to her for that. And Nick Gagnon, not just for his creativity in the classroom, but for everything he does outside of the classroom and the work that he does with the boys on the basketball team. He's built some great relationships there, and so I really appreciate what he's done. Recently we had Moving Up Night at Plymouth Regional High School. We had good participation for that, which was great. The Plymouth Regional High School sent us a follow-up survey that the students are completing this week, and also I gave some great feedback from some parents right to the high school, so that is good. I wanted to point out, and maybe you saw the article about our academic recognition. We had Mr. Brent work his magic within our ALMA program to be able to calculate an average proficiency score. So, and that's individualized per student based on how many outcomes they worked on. So a score of 93 to 100% we considered high honors, 85 to 92% honors, and 80 to 84% is on a roll. So we've got our high honors, honor roll, and on a roll. So be looking for that at the end of trimester 2. That will be in the paper as well. Winter refund letters go out this week. Parents will have 3 options. They can have whatever money is remaining from the week that we canceled go to their lunch account. They can receive a check getting the money back, or they can donate it to the program. It's only, for some people, it's only a couple dollars, and they just say, just keep it in the program. So that's always nice. We also did a kickoff week for our project week. We're working with some professional performers from the local area, some local business people and entrepreneurs, and to put our ideas together. And I'm not going to tell you anything else because I want it to be a surprise. It's going to be really exciting. And last, I want to tell you about Cultural Arts Night. Historically, this has been a huge night at Plymouth High School where all the schools bring their artwork and feature just the amazingly talented artists and musicians, singers, everybody that has any kind of talent in those areas. The artwork that is on display is always just phenomenal. But because they're doing a renovation project in the high school, they aren't able to have that at the high school this year. So Teresa Merrifield met with the principal of Waterville Valley Elementary, and they kind of got a group together and are working with the Museum of the White Mountains in Plymouth, and they have put together the Museum of the White Mountains Walkabout Wednesday Youth Art Exhibit. There are art from all of the schools will be exhibited all around the downtown area of Plymouth, in the businesses, in the theater, in the library, in the Museum of the White Mountains, I believe for the whole month. And on the 21st of March, they will have small music ensembles also performing. So that's kind of like the big night of the event. But that was originally Teresa Merrifield's idea. So it's great that she's kind of got a bunch of the teachers on board in SAU 48, and they're moving forward with it. So it's really exciting. And more information will come out about that as we get closer. And that's it.
Thank you. Financial report, Trish?
Thank you. Your general fund expenditure report is in your packet. We have expended or encumbered an additional $10,013 since your last report. The spending was pretty much evenly spread throughout the budget. Revenues, you also have a report on. Revenues did not change. And you have electricity and fuel oil as well.
Anybody have any questions for Trish on that? No? Thank you, Trish. Memorandum of Understanding, Mary.
I did speak with Superintendent Halloran from SAU 48, and At this stage, the Pemmy Baker Board has reviewed the Memorandum of Understanding, and the recommendation is to divide it into 2 memorandums of understanding, one for SAU 48 and then one for Pemmy Baker, because of the complexities of some of the pieces fit more with the SAU and some pieces fit more with the Pemmy Baker Plymouth Regional High School components. So I will work with SAU 48 to do that, and he believes that possibly the Pemmy Baker portion could possibly be approved in April, and then the SAU, because of their schedule of their meetings, would be May. So my hope is by the end of the school year, we're able to have that in place.
Awesome, thank you. Business of the board, anything from the board? I just have one announcement is Thursday night, All-Stars. We've got All-Star boys and All-Stars girls playing basketball at the high school. And tonight, for the first time, I think ever, they have girls. All the middle school girls are invited to the high school to watch the high school girls play. They were asked to wear their uniforms. I'm not sure if any of ours went, but they were invited. And then at halftime, they're having a special event for any of the girls from all the schools, Ashland as well as all the SA 48s, to go on to the court at halftime at the high school and do some activities, and then watch the second half of the game, which I thought was great. I think it was Lynn Sanborn, I think, put it together. So we want to thank her. I think that's great for the girls, because we really get that feeder program up to the high school. And we had All-Stars. We had 3 girls All-Stars and 3 boys All-Stars, so they'll be playing Thursday night.
What time is that?
Girls' game starts at 6:30, and then the boys will follow.
So this dinner will
Yep.
end just in time.
Yep. The Cliff dinner
Head right up.
to head right up. Yep. What a great job at dovetailing.
Perfectly.
And,
It's worked
and no
out.
snow event.
And no snow, because the snow will be over on Wednesday.
Thank goodness.
Events are always on Thursday.
And for our team, our Mr. Gagnon is coaching the All-Stars,
Wow.
so that's pretty cool. Anything else from the board? Business to superintendent, operating expenses. Trish?
Manifest
Manifest.
2011. I'd be happy to answer any questions. There's nothing unusual.
Anybody have any questions for Trish on that? Seeing none, we'll take a motion to approve. Deb? Is there a second?
I'll
Sandra? Nothing else? All in favor? 4-0. Thank you. Policies, first reading. These are all first reading, correct?
Correct.
So normally on first readings, we'll break them down, we'll do one at a time, just in case if there's any spelling issues that we might have saw, or any grammar issues, any questions. Usually by the second or third time, we've at least flushed it out, and then we'll put them together. But on the first time through, we'll do it. So the first one we need a motion on is policy 1161, non-discrimination policy statement. Take a motion to approve. Deb? A second? Sandra? Anybody have any on that policy? Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor? 4-0. Next policy is policy 5145, reporting of suspected child abuse or neglect. I'll take a motion to approve. Deb? A second? Steve? Is there anything on that one? Any questions, comments, grammar, anything? If not, all in favor? 4-0. Thank you. Next policy is 5152, wellness policy. Take a motion to approve. Sandra? A second? Deb? Questions or comments on that one? If not, all in favor? 4-0. Thank you. Policy 5149.2, hazing. Take a motion to approve. Deb? A second? Do we have a second? Steve? Any questions or comments on that policy? If not, all in favor? 4-0. Policy 6162, animals in the school. Take a motion to approve. Deb? Don't be shy. Take a second. Steve? Any questions or comments on that one? Yeah, yeah.
I have a question regarding this one. It does say that it recognizes under proper conditions, animals can be effective teaching. Does this policy, is that what it's seeking to, it's using the animal for education purpose, not that the animal is just going to come in and hang out in class? I mean, I understand it's created, but it's education.
Yes,
Specific.
you know, and if there's, could be a class pet,
Mhm.
that would fall under this.
Okay.
And again, the idea of that might be teaching responsibility, watching it change over time, but they would have to follow
Right.
the policy.
Yeah, okay.
It's any of the animals. We had one time we grew fish here,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have
Yes, we did.
Mrs. Spears does the chicks,
Mhm.
so that's all part of that policy as well.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Sandra, did you have your hand up?
Somehow, I was just gonna say that I missed this. There must have been two together, so that's why I'm reading
Okay.
it now.
Any other questions or comments on that? If not, all in favor? 4-0. Thank you. Policy 6182, character and citizenship education. Take a motion to approve. Deb? Second? Sandra? Any questions or comments on that one? If not, all in favor? 4-0. Thank you. Policy 9368, meeting conduct. Take a motion to approve. Deb? A second? Steve? Any questions or comments on that one? Sandra?
In the first sentence, I don't understand, if the chairman is not present, then the vice chair acts as the chair. I was a little confused with that. Maybe it's the lateness of the hour that I read it, but I'm not any clearer. Why would the board choose a chairman and vice chair in the absence? If the chairman is there, is absent, and the vice chair is there, then the vice chair holds the meeting or chairs the meeting. It's a little confusing in the absence of the chairman and/or the vice chair.
Mhm.
Well,
I think
I think part of it is, this is the conduct of the entire meeting, not just, there may be functions that a vice chair, we don't necessarily have separate functions right now, that a vice chair does, like a secretary does, when polling going into a non-public. If you don't have a vice chair and you needed a vice chair, then you would pick one. It's not just to run the meeting. So you may have the chair here, but not a vice chair, and at some point down the line, we may have a function that the vice chair does with a board of 5, if we have different committees, and they may have a report or a function. So this is looking beyond how we actually operate today, but also looking down the road at how we may have to operate at some point. So this isn't just a matter of calling the meeting to order. This is, within the meeting, if you need a vice chair and the vice chair wasn't here, then you would have to pick a vice chair. And there may be a better way to describe that.
We can work on that and
Yep.
bring that back
Yep.
maybe for the second reading
Yep.
if people are comfortable with that.
Yep. So why don't we just not vote on this tonight?
And we can bring it back
And
as a
we'll bring it
first
back as
reading.
a first reading with the adjustment of the new language. So we have a motion to approve. So at this point, we want to have a vote to not approve. So all in favor? No.
Okay, rephrase the.
All
that we're voting
opposed?
to not approve.
All opposed?
Okay.
4-0.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
It is a little.
0 to 4.
We were
to
approving
not
the
approve.
negative.
Yeah. Well, the motion was already to approve, so you have to vote
Yeah,
against
that's
it. Okay, so that's all set. And then the next one is motion to rescind policy 6143, use of electronic devices. This will be a one-time vote. We don't have to vote on it 3 times like we do on other policies. Do we have a motion to approve, which would be to approve the rescind?
Is there a policy?
Deb? Second? Do we have a motion, second? Steve? Is there any questions or comments on this one?
I can share that
Yeah.
this has been wrapped into another policy, so
Okay,
we were
that's my
combining
question.
it with, I think it's the internet acceptable
Yeah.
use, or it's, but it, rather than duplicating it, made sense to combine it.
Which policy is that it's wrapped into?
6142.1.
Great. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
It's referenced at
Yeah,
the
I think I
bottom.
remember reading that. Oh,
It's
okay.
referenced.
All right, gotcha.
Any other questions or comments on it? If not, all in favor? 4-0, thank you. Privilege of the floor for 2. David, you have anything? Okay, thank you. We have announcements. Tuesday, March 6, 2018, Ashland School Board here at the Ashland School in the Media Center. Policy review will be at 5:30 and then regular school board meeting at 6:30. Tuesday, March 13th will be the deliberative session, which is a voting day for the town of Ashland, including what we went over tonight. The polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Voting will take place here at the Ashland Elementary School in the gymnasium. And we do have a need for non-public tonight. So I'll take a motion to go into non-public. Steve? And then a second was Sandra. And Sandra, would you like to poll the board, please?
Steve? Glenn?
Yes.
And myself, yes.
Okay. So we're now in non-public. Thank you.